All right. Well, we're here this morning with head coach of the Barton Bulldogs, Chip Hester, talk about the 2022 season. Chip, thanks for joining us this morning.
Tristan, good to be with you.
All right. Well, we're going to jump right into it. And I'm going to start out with a question that I feel probably the biggest one for you at Barton. But as there are three new members of the SAC this year. That's Emery and Henry, Erskine, and Barton, all new to the SAC this year. You have obviously coached in the SAC before. You did a scheduling agreement with the SAC the last couple of years here. How do you think the addition of three new teams is really going to change the dynamic of the league?
Well, I think it's an exciting time in college football. I mean, you look at the landscape and on the Power Five level, you've got changes going on and realignment, and I choose to think it's an exciting time, and I know it's exciting for Barton College, especially to be joining such a prestigious conference. It's such a competitive conference, and I think it's going to be fun. I can't wait to see how the divisions work out and have a championship game. So, as being a guy that was in the SAC for a long time, back in the late '90s, early 2000s, it's going to be interesting to see how it develops, and I think it's going to be fun.
Having that championship to play for now for you guys in particular, does that change the way you approach the season? Or is it still just kind of business as usual, just now there's a trophy that can be won at the end?
Well, I don't think that we're going to be at the top of anyone's list to as a pick to win the SAC, but I think each team that's playing and each team that starts every season, including us, we want to compete. We want a chance, and at this point, everyone's got a chance. And I think all of us coaches are probably there's a reason they've coined the term coach speak. But if you're thinking about a championship in August, you're probably going about it the wrong way. 2 years ago when we were in the COVID season, and last year when we were in a scheduling agreement partner, we just want to be the best version of ourselves. And I think that's a great motto for life. You want to be the best that you can be at anything that you put your mind to, and so that's what we'll try to go into it. We're really excited for our young men to have an opportunity to get awarded possibly an all conference, or there's some things, some awards and some things that are out there that are now a possibility that weren't before. So that's a good thing for us here at Barton.
Yeah, you guys are definitely. You say you won't be at the top of anybody's list, but you're not going to be counted out by many based on the coaches I've already talked to. Barton is not going to be an easy game. They've all said that, especially from a lot of the young talent you had coming back. As you look ahead to this year, what do how does your team look? I know camp hasn't started yet, but basically, on the spring last, probably some summer workouts, and then even last fall, kind of what do you expect to see out of your team going into this season?
Well, I tell you, for a couple of years, we've been super young. We've been so young, and we've had some talent, but we just haven't had a lot of experience. And going through that scheduling agreement, we've been through some battles, and we've taken our lumps, and we've competed, and I think that's that going into this fall, I'm pretty encouraged that we've been through those battles, and hopefully we've learned from those things. So we've got some talented guys. We've got on the offense and on the defense, and now we've got some experience. So hopefully we'll be a dangerous team. I appreciate those coaches that have some respect for where we're going. We sure don't feel like we've arrived. That's for sure. We've got a long way to go, but we're excited. We've got good leadership, and up front we've got some guys that can really help us. So that's what we're excited about.
Yeah, you guys definitely you could run the ball last year. That's for sure. As one of the top running backs in the nation, and I know that he's been talked about a lot throughout the conference. So obviously on the offensive side of the ball, you've got him. What is the defense looking like for you guys?
Yeah, it starts with our defensive coordinator, Tristan Burnett, and he is just a fabulous young up and coming coach. I mean, he just I think the thing that I'm most excited about is we wanted to, and our program is built on relationships and respect and all those kind of things. And he is, if I had a son, I've got 2 daughters, if I had a son, I'd want him playing for a coach like Coach Burnett. He is, man, he's competitive and he's just innovative and all these different types of things. But he cares for our young men. He loves them and he wants to make them better young men. And so that's exciting for me. But he does a great job. And then just defensively, personnel wise, we've got some guys at linebacker that are just, to us, old school playmakers. Matt Smith and Shane Perry, just really 2 really good players. And then up front, we've got guys, J.L. Ledbetter. We've got Deontay Osby that played in that shortened spring season and was not able to play a whole bunch. He was banged up most of last year, but he comes back, and some guys up front with him, Noah Johnson, Alex Gauda. So we've got a lot of depth coming back, and feel like those guys, probably the most important part is they've got a little feel and they've got a little togetherness, and that spirit is pretty good right now, and they've got some confidence going into this fall. They know they've got a big, we deal with tough offenses in this league, so they know they've got their work cut out for us. But I'm excited about their confidence level going into this thing.
That's awesome. As you go into the season, obviously you guys are year 3, correct? Technically, right. You had the COVID year, then last year, now this year. I know you haven't been in the SAC as far as a full member before, but who do you see as kind of your biggest rival going into the season? The team you're kind of, everybody has that one. We're going to circle and we want to beat this one for sure, or whatever. That's going to be a really good game. Who is that for you guys?
It's interesting because for years I was at that at Catawba College, so it was Lenore Ryan, and then Catawba Carson Newman was such a big game, and Catawba Wingate, and so there's so many great rivalries there. And we're starting to develop rivalries here. I guess the natural fit for us is Erskine. They're going in and we'll play them the last game of the year. And, that spring season, they got us pretty good at our place. And then we got them last year. So that's probably the natural rivalry. But I tell you, every week, man, you go through the schedule and you go, man, I mean, week after week, you're talking about really good teams and good coaches, good personnel. So, I think it's one of those leagues where it's like, I grew up in Raleigh, so it's kind of like the old ACC. You've got NC State and Duke and Carolina and Wake Forest. Every week it feels like a rivalry game. So the thing with us is I've just got so much respect for the coaches in this league, and so every week, you can't sleepwalk at all. I mean, you've got to come ready to play, and you've got to be up for every game. And so that's the challenge. And I think that's when you're in a good league like this, that's the thing that can make the difference. Can you consistently show up and play to a high level and play with emotion and passion every week? And if you have some talent and you do, then you have a chance.
So I'm gonna alter the question just a little bit, because I did this for Coach Clifton at Mars Hill, and you guys, like Tim, like Joe Reich and Todd Knight, all these guys, you've been around the league a long time, even though you were at Catawba for several years and then out of the SAC and now back with Barton and stuff. So who is your coaching rival? So you're one coach. You go, that's my buddy. I love him. We're friends, but when I play that game, guy, I like playing him, even if it's not about winning or losing, it's just about, that's a fun game to play.
Well, I would have to, man, you just ticked off some guys that I really consider really good friends. And then, the one that you didn't mention was Curtis Walker, and Curtis and I coached at Catawba.
Yeah, at Catawba together,
or 8 years together. So he, I say he's part of my football family. So our families, known each other forever. But I guess we're talking. We talk consistently about it. Is Coach Clifton and I? He actually was coaching at Ferrum College way back in the day when I was playing at Guilford College. So probably just in number of years that you've played against someone, that goes way back. But he is always so much fun, and you look across the field on a Saturday, and Coach Clifton he has got so much energy.
I know.
You can hear that raspy voice across the field, and his guys are going to play hard, and and the other part of that is they've got guys that have been there forever. Coach Pfeiffer, Coach Barnett, and all those guys. It's really this past year has been a lot of fun to kind of reconnect and spend some time with all those guys. I've said it many times that I think the SAC has got a special thing. You go to the officials clinic, and there are guys that have been there for ages, and we connect and talk and can kind of tell good stories. The same thing with the coaches. I'm able to pick up the phone and call Joe Reich, and we've talked about how we handle some player manual things and stuff like that. So there's just, from my end, a ton of respect for those guys and how they go about it. But when and before the game, we're good. But when that whistle blows and you kick it off, we're trying to get each other. You can guarantee that.
Yeah, that's. I will say that you guys have a lot of having been in those coaches meetings with you all and different settings before, after the game. You guys are great friends. But man, I'll tell you what, that whistle blows and you guys step to separate sidelines. That's it. You want to win the game. It doesn't matter who you are. So that's awesome. I love it. It's a lot of fun to watch.
Absolutely.
All right, very last question here. Everybody has one, and you guys are obviously very young. I'm sure you've got a couple of them floating around there, but every team has kind of a motto or a credo they play for each year, some type of saying. What is Barton's for this year? What are you guys going into the year with your motto for the year?
Well, so Christian, we'll have different themes throughout the year and things like that, but up in our locker room, and it always will be. And going back, there's a great book that Tony Dungy wrote called Common, and so we want to be uncommon, and our meaning behind that is to not necessarily do what everyone else does or how anyone else. Let's do our thing and do the best that we can be, and and it means not settling for average and trying to be the best version of ourselves. And so that's what we talk about a whole lot. And we'll have different themes we'll go through and some things that are important to us. But man, we just want to be uncommon and try to not to settle. And so that's what we'll be talking about a lot. If you come to our guys and visit around our guys, I hope that's what they're talking about. That's what we break it down to at the end of our stretches and things like that. So that's our motto. That's what we're trying to be.
That's awesome. I like it a lot. That's good. Be uncommon. Also a very good book by Tony Dungy. That's a great book.
Absolutely.
Well, Chip, I appreciate you taking the time to meet with us today. We're looking forward to a great 2022 season and the start of Barton in the SAC. It'll be here before you know it. Teams report in next week, and then season starts in about just about a month right now. So thank you again, and good luck on the year.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me, Christian.
You got it.